over on the side, and I will lay down on it. I have no problems with that. I have no problem with being wrong.
Well, perfect. Here we go. Game number 1. Northwood and Penn State winners final, best of 5. Winner of this one obviously going to qualify into that grand final. We'll have the bracket reset to play with as well. Always nice to have in the back pocket. And again, Northwood 9-0 coming into this one, Jay.
Haven't dropped a game yet. Even the closest that it really looked like they would come to dropping one was against Miami. Came back late in that one. It'll be Penn State getting things started early on here as Brand just bullying that 50-pass Lion Blaze. Wins another one out to Kareem, who has a lot of net to shoot at. Hockey can't get there in time to deal with that. First blood in this series. Win a Penn State. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am wrong, Hunted.
Hey, it's very, very early. I was in that same position in the last series after Penn State lost 4-0. But here we are, Penn State overcoming adversity in that last series in game number 1, making it a 4-game series, and thus now having to take on the best team in the CRL world, or really the last couple of seasons running, and now we can officially call them world champions. As here's Hockey, short side, equalizer 1-1.
That is a huge amount of demos coming through out of the Northwood roster, as everyone is getting in on that one. I think there was 3 consecutive demos through the sequence of play, as that ball would not get anywhere out of the Penn State corners. Northwood just going 1, 2, 3, and a couple of demos on the way through, and a good shot by Hockey as well, onto the back post, away from the respawn.
And Hockey's one of those types of players that you really don't want to give him an opportunity to place a shot, right? You want to force him to have to put a shot on net, or really just, play it through or around a defender. When he can pick his spot, he is very, very good at punishing a defense.
So where a lot of it's the mentality against a lot of good shooters as well. People that have the accuracy to put a shot exactly where they want to time and time again. You really kind of want to force them into one option rather than let them have a choice of what to shoot at, because then you have to try and predict it. You have to try and figure out where they're going in their head. If you force that option, it makes it a lot more easy to defend and get that rebound, get something away and favorable for your team.
Well, speaking of, Lion Blaze, good play out of the zone. Hockey can't beat Jamaican Coconut there. Kareem's going to challenge Buddy down low in the Northwood zone. Will thought of Lion Blaze again to play off his own back wall. One of the things that I think Northwood does better than anyone in the CRL are these small touches to themselves, especially first touches off a back wall or off a pass from a teammate. As Lion Blaze is going to play it over to Buddy, good block there from Brand. But they just keep possession so well because they don't play it in a bad area. They keep it close, as Hockey, again, top shelf, will punish the defense 2-1 for Northwood.
To continue on your point about passing to yourselves, there's a lot of individual responsibility taken by each player on the Northwood roster to not leave their teammates in a difficult spot if they're going to lose possession. That's why they practice a lot of that micro control of the ball to keep it close. It really does resemble, a skill player in football, in world football, really, where they're just so capable of keeping that ball in a very tight and closed space, forcing defenders to try and work around that, and freeing up opportunities for their teammates to find space for a passing option. In really good spots. This Lion Blaze working in a tight shot there, can't quite sneak it past that near post.
And now Penn State going to have to play a little bit more defense. That's a good clear from Jamaican Coconut. Now they're going to have to try to follow it up. Here's Lion Blaze. Has Buddy in support. Hockey's with him. Kareem will turn it around. Brand taking control and keeping it close by. Jamaican Coconut at midfield. Over to Kareem. Just missed him. And now back the other way. This is going to go just a bit wide, but Hockey will be first here. He opts to grab that back boost and turn, probably for the best there.
Like that choice, knowing that there's no real gain to be had just diving at that ball. Deny resources a little bit. Try to cycle the ball a little bit further. That's a good pass by Buddy. Hockey gets a piece of it. Brand just getting enough to steer that wide of the Penn State net. Northwood will reset, and you have to wonder, the longer this one starts to grind down, the fewer chances that Penn State start to look out here, the more pressure that Northwood is going to put them under, how much that gets inside their heads.
Hockey with space, looks for Buddy across the way, and just missed him on that pass. Couldn't quite catch up to it. Good Buddy, and it'll stay a 2-1 game with 1:15 to go. Lion Blaze Gonna let this one roll back to the midfield line. He's around Brand, only as far as Kareem though, and now here comes the attack from Penn State. Jamaican Coconut at the top of the box, back wall. Line Blaze will get a block and no pinch off the sidewall, but he gets it over to Hockey and they will clear again. Final 55 and still a goal needed.
Seen a couple of moments for Penn State where one challenge from Northwood is beating two of their players, and it's leaving them a lot of missed opportunities to really cycle offense and get something meaningful towards that Northwood net. Even though they got the first goal in this one, they're really starting to have to put better chances on the board if they want to try and tie this one up, maybe force overtime here in game one.
Well, Brand will play off his own back wall. 25 seconds left. That's a good challenge from Hockey. Jamaican Coconut in support. Lion Blaze almost read it, but he's going to be out of the play for a moment. Here's Brand with some space. Hockey! Oh, what a play! Beautiful save from Hockey. Reads it perfectly, and that'll keep it a 2-1 game. Lion Blaze with the final 7 seconds. It does pop up for Jamaican Coconut to play down to his teammates. Take it out there is Kareem. Hockey with the 50. And what a game-saving play by the man right there on your screen. Hockey clutching up at the end. That was beautiful.
Yeah, clutching up is the only way you can describe that save. It was really the best definition of a 1v1 you could possibly have, as Brand had full control of that ball, was waiting, trying to get Hockey off the backboard to make that first move. Talking a lot about in hockey and one-on-ones, you try to make the defender make the first move to get by, and ultimately Hockey stayed with it really, really well and just kept enough of that car in front of the ball so Brand couldn't get anything meaningful out in front. The rebound slipping away from Penn State, ultimately ending up losing this one 2-1.
And again, I mean, Hockey with both goals. Again, that big save really stepped up to the plate for his team here this time around. But you got to give credit where credit is due for Penn State. It was a 1-goal game. They made some big plays, but again, it's that time and space aspect that you cannot give to Northwood and Hockey again specifically. We talked about it. You give him room to shoot, he's going to punish you for it.
I think Penn State should be really disappointed with the first game in the middle section of that game, where they were under a lot of pressure, and when they had opportunities to break out, their first attempts to get the ball past midfield really got met with a single challenge from Northwood that put two players in Penn State in a really difficult spot. They weren't finding one another on clears, and they were getting two players beat by one challenge at midfield, which put the third player under a lot of pressure back the other way with Northwood transition back.
Well, let's see what game two will hold for us here on Neo Tokyo, as all three players moving forward here from Northwood. Good keep in there from Hockey, but Kareem up high. Talent on the buddy as well. Now Jamaican Coconut looking for Kareem. Lion Blaze has to cut across. That's a smart defensive play from him. That could have been dangerous the other way. But instead, Northwood, again, just going to keep the ball in the Penn State half. And if you can do that, I mean, if you can put Penn State on the back foot defensively, it's very difficult for this team to transition against a quick team like Northwood.
Exactly. They need to be a little bit better with the ball. They need to find one another on the clears. Just like that, Kareem looking for Brand. Unfortunately, not really difficult for Hockey to handle on defense. And then a demo on Kareem should end any real hopes of Penn State keeping this one on meaningful offensive cycles through the first minute or so. It's been more Penn State with the real chances on goal hunted, but they're not really amounting to much. It hasn't been more than routine saves for Northwood, and that should be worrying.
Yeah, and I mean, it is only a minute gone in game number 2. Both teams really kind of playing this midfield, keep everything out to the side when you're on the defensive side sort of gameplay. And it's worked out for both sides so far, as Brand gets a little bit of an opening. Hockey there on the back, want to cut it off, though he ends up playing that a bit too hard here. It's Jamaican Coconut over the head of Buddy. It'll fall straight down. Hockey's there over to Lion Blaze. Brand and Jamaican Coconut get their signals crossed. Brand will try to salvage it, but again, that should be a Penn State keep-in, and now there's a dangerous chance side post. Just saved away by Kareem that time.
Definitely agree that should have been a pretty routine keep-in on the rotation. Not quite sure what happened between Coconut and Brand on that play, as they just got the wires crossed long enough to allow Northwood. They had a really good challenge, and Brand squeaking this one past Kareem off the bar, and it won't go. It should have been, as you were saying, hunted, but it's barred down and away, and that one is heartbreaking right now for Penn State as time ticks away.
And Kareem's going to want that back for sure, especially with Hockey there off the side. Oh, Buddy with the follow. Anybody there for Northwood? No, that'll stay out as well. It's still dangerous, though. Kareem is screaming back towards his goal line, and he makes the play on Lion Blaze. Keeps us 0-0 through the half. Here's Hockey up high. Buddy's there. It's a floater side post taken care of by Brand, but still the pressure's on. Kareem will get a bit of a clear, and that will give them just a bit of breathing room here. My word, how have we not had a goal in this game?
There's been so many goal line stanzas. This one almost looking like a chance, but Buddy off the post and Hockey in a little bit deeper support, not really throwing themselves in at that play. It's just been back and forth. It's getting a little bit scrambly like the later parts of the Penn State and Mizzou series started to get into. The difference in this one, you just feel that the structure of Northwood eventually is going to win out here if they can catch Penn State in a vulnerable spot like this one. Lion Blaze taking a lot of time to get to that one, and Kareem steaming back takes away that chance. Really good defensive play by Kareem so far in this middle part of game number 2.
This is do or die time right now for Penn State, keeping Northwood off the board. Nice flick from Jamaican Coconut. Buddy will play that over to Hockey. Brand's quick to it. Kareem forces Buddy to make a misplay there. Now Kareem with a little bit of possession. Buddy trying to knock him off the ball. Instead, it'll bounce out. Buddy again is here at the midfield line. Here's Brand with a chance. It falls to Kareem. Shot, rebound. Oh, kicked away. I believe that was Buddy on the final save there. Lion Blaze was involved as well. And somehow we're still 0-0 with a minute to go.
Crucially in that shot, Kareem was actually taking the contact on that ball backwards. Couldn't really get anything meaningful on that after the double save by Northwood in front of the net. Just spilled the rebound tantalizingly close to that blue net. And it feels like this game is just balanced right on the edge, right there to tilt either way if one of these bounces goes the right way.
Well, speaking of, here's an opportunity. Will be Buddy to play that back wall clear away. Lion Blaze into the zone. Buddy gonna follow up on the attack. Now Hockey getting involved. Good clear from Jamaican Coconut. Lion Blaze back into the corner. Brand's gonna take his time. Ends up giving that one away. Hockey not in a great position, but he keeps possession. And it'll bounce into the corner again. Final 10 seconds of game number 2. Roll 1 in the corner. Don't know if that was intentional by Hockey. It almost looked like it was. But here's Brand. Oh, I thought that hit the turf. That might go in. Wait, it does! Penn State! They win it with no time to go, and we're tied in a series.
Excuse me? Brand picks it up as like the milliseconds tick off to hit 0. Just got it off the ground in time, and it's 2 awkward 50s that bounce all the way back in. I'm in shock, Hunted. We were all ready to go to overtime. Penn State with an absolute theft of game number 2. The way Brand was dribbling the ball, I didn't think he had enough time to get it back on the hood of his car. And as you said, I mean, it had to have been milliseconds for that ball to get back up in the air. What a way to end the game. But hey, Penn State, I mean, they knock off Northwood in this game, the first game loss of the tournament here for Northwood. So heading into game 3, we're all equalized again. And Northwood had some good offense. I think they had a couple of missed shots. I can picture one clearly right now, Hockey missing over the bar. But other than that, Penn State's defense held strong. Yeah, credit to Penn State. There were a couple of chances there that Northwood had them really doing circles around their net. And I think it really was Kareem had ice in the veins. There was that one chance. It was just low on the goal line. Like, it was a gilt-edged chance for Northwood, and it wasn't really a great shot in the sense that it wasn't hard, it wasn't difficult to deal with. It just required you to know that that shot was going to come straight at you, and it wasn't going to be like, there wasn't a trick to it. It was just, it's going right at you. And Kareem stood in front of that one, kept it out, kept the shutout going for Penn State, and then Brand just picks up a miracle of a 0-second goal.
Well, hey, you'll take them any way they come, especially against a team like Northwood. So Penn State making things interesting here in the upper bracket finals. We are tied at 1 into Utopia Coliseum for game number 3. We are underway 10 seconds in. Lion Blaze will get the first shot of the affair. They've made by Brand. Hockey going to keep it moving. And this will be a chance for Lion Blaze. He's got Hockey. Oh, he gets bumped. Beautiful bump by Jamaican Coconut.
Really good awareness by Jamaican Coconut. Knew what the plan was on that one. It wasn't a solo play from Lion Blaze off the backboard. It was dropping the pass down, back post, trying to catch the defense going the wrong way on that play. And ultimately, a good physical play by Jamaican Coconut keeps that one from being anything meaningful.
Oh, Buddy takes out Kareem. Now it's a one-on-one. Hockey tries to go low. Rebound sits out in front. But because Kareem was not demoed, he was able to get back to that play. And will clear it off the line for Penn State. Still, Lion Blaze looking dangerous out of the corner. Double commit Buddy and Hockey. Buddy might have a chance with this. No, it just goes a bit too wide for him, as this is going to be Jamaican Coconut now. Looking for a transition. Gets the demo onto Lion Blaze. Kareem's going to keep it there. Oh, a fortunate spawn for Lion Blaze. He'll stall this out in the corner for the moment. And Brand, that's a good touch. Jamaican Coconut, can he turn this into a flip reset? He's going to look for it. Just gets a bounce. Does go wide. Will it turn into a shot from Brand? Save made. Rebound. It's 2. Lion Blaze comes up big on the goal line.
And so much resource spent. All of the boost tanks are empty. Jamaican Coconut off the ceiling. Brand with the rebound. And Hockey's on the goal line again. Not baited into one of the initial chances, as that's been Penn State's best sequence of play, I think, all series long so far, Hunted. And again, Northwood just standing them up on the goal line. The shots, not the most deceptive. There's been some good ones, and that's a hanger of a flick by Lion Blaze. All that effort for Penn State, and all it takes is one transition from Lion Blaze. First touch catches Brand out. Jamaican Coconut can't challenge. Flicks inside post. That's a great shot.
Really well done from Lion Blaze. But I mean, you look at this this game and what has transpired up to this point, and if you didn't know, which team was which side, I would imagine you would put Northwood as the team in white here right now. It's just been that strong of an effort from Penn State, but they haven't been able to capitalize on opportunities. I mean, don't get me wrong, not for lack of trying. Lion Blaze had 2 huge saves on the goal line to keep it a 0-0 game at that time, and now he's going to play it off his own back. Well, that's a big clear, forcing Brandon to a tough spot. Here's Hockey as Lion Blaze down in front. Good play from Kareem, just gets a piece.
You can't forget Hockey's save as well in that sequence for Penn State. There were really 3 great plays, and that's a great shot by Jamaican Coconut. Catches everybody going the wrong way as Brand's solo play to put this up in front. Gets 2 players going the wrong way. Lion Blaze and Hockey both trying to half flip and get there as Coconut goes back post, ties this game up for Penn State. They finally get something on the board after all that early game pressure.
And you could tell he was looking back posts the entire way there. Just had that opening, sneaks it through, and now might have another chance here. Jamaican Coconut gonna go back wall. Lion Blaze will get there in time. He just couldn't get it to the back wall quick enough to beat the defender. Demo there onto Lion Blaze. Smart play. Now Jamaican Coconut's gonna start the breakout again. Pops it up. Looking for Kareem, Buddy right in the middle of his own box there, able to keep it out of the hands of the attacking team. Now a couple of nice little passes. Buddy has a double touch chance, but Jamaican Coconut once again gets up there, and it has been a battle between these players. Jamaican Coconut has been all over the field, and that somehow bounces the opposite way of what it looked like, and it stays out.
It was kind of at a weird angle, way up above the boards. It hit, I think, more on the backboard than it did the vertical. And that's really what threw it kind of away from the net, from what a lot of people I think were reading on that play. And ultimately, there wasn't really a lot of pressure on it. Needs to be pressure on that. It's a free shot for Buddy as the Penn State defense, they can't get this one clear effectively.
An awkward bounce on one end, another one this time. I mean, that's unfortunate for Kareem. If that bounces up at all, I think he makes that play. But it comes straight out, and Northwood will say thank you very much. Make it a 2-1 game now, and this is not easy for Northwood. They are playing like the Northwood team that we know. They are high-flying, they're fast, they're mechanical, but still they only have a 1-goal lead, and it'll stay 1 goal as Jamaican Coconut makes the save.
The key thing about the Northwood team that we're watching right now is that they looked at one mistake from Penn State and capitalized on it. The first touch on the clear by Jamaican Coconut was kind of loose. It wasn't really well followed up. And then it really put both Kareem and Brand in a tough spot on the goal line, which is what we saw after the awkward bounce that kind of snuck behind Kareem on that play. And that's what I talked about a little bit with Northwood being very disciplined with the ball. That's a great shot, though, by Jamaican Coconut, knowing the only way to keep that under the bar is to cushion it down.
And I mean, just a beautiful pass from Kareem. That little touch forces Lion Blaze to have to respect the shot. And you saw him go up that back wall. It hits the top of the box, or sorry, the top of the goal mouth there, and he just couldn't quite get out to it. But as you said, really well done by Jamaican Coconut, making a 2-2 game. Jamaican Coconut's got both for his side, and he's going to look for a third. Lion Blaze avoids the demo and is able to make that play. 30 seconds. Will we have OT game 3?
Well, we thought that in game 2. I'm not going to call anything until that ball touches down and we see confirmation of the overtime. And Lion Blaze has a lot of time to shoot that one on the read, and that's a great angle near post. Watch this coming down the boards here. Beats the first challenge, and there's nobody really coming out to challenge that ball from Penn State. Jamaican Coconut stuck the wrong way in net. Can't really read that shot angle effectively. Got a bit of a touch on it, but ultimately shooter's angle for them to work with Lion Blaze makes it count.
Really well done by Lion there. 3-2. Opportunity quickly slipping away here for Penn State in game number 3. Kareem's got to try to make a play out of the corner. That's a smart touch. He gets it by Lion Blaze as well, but nobody there to follow. It'll be Buddy on the clear. Brand trying to keep it up. Won't be able to, and Northwood sneak away with game number 3. It hasn't been easy in the slightest for them in this series so far, but they are on match point to be our first grand finalist.
It was a much different game, I think, from game 2. Game 2 was a lot of streaks back and forth, but we didn't see goals until the very end. And I think the quality of the opportunities presented was really the reason why that was the case. Northwood got a lot more less difficult opportunities in this one. They had I don't want to say free chances, because nothing is really well and truly free in this game, but Penn State made it a lot easier for Northwood to score in this game because they weren't as disciplined with the ball coming out of their defensive quarters. In the corners, the bounces just weren't really favorable. Neither were the first touches, and that's what Northwood is really good at punishing, Hunted.
Oh, well, we certainly saw that there in that one. And as you said, too, you know, it's one mistake. It's one mistouch or one poor rotation, whatever. And it may not even be a mistake. It might be a demo that you can't avoid or, you know, you missed avoiding, whatever. And that just, Northwood is so very good mechanically. They're so, you know, they're one of the most solid teams when it comes to shot accuracy, to double touches, things like that, you know, you give them that little bit of space. You can play perfectly up until that point, but that one mistake, and they'll, as you said, turn that into a victory. And that's exactly what they did there in game number 3. So let's see. They've got a 2-1 series lead now. We're heading to game number 4. I'd love to see our first game 5, though, of the of the stream.
Absolutely. Penn State is going to have to play a game 4 to remember on this one. They need to be as disciplined as they were in game number 2 to not give Northwood the opportunities to get ahead in this game.
Ooh. They are going to get a little bit of an attack going here. Kareem's going to play this all the way back for Brand. He'll go off his own back wall with the first 30 seconds gone in game 4. Demo onto Kareem, opens up some space for Lion Blaze side wall. He'll keep it. Hockey is waiting for a pass. Instead, it's kicked out towards Buddy. Nice play over to Hockey. He's going to fire up high, hits the bar, and Lion Blaze gets bumped off the play. Kareem gets bumped off the play. Buddy will push it wide and will stay. No score. 4:10 left to go.
Take a breath, Penn State fans. That one got a little bit sketchy there. Oh, Kareem gets back to that one. Lion Blaze recognizing the danger, coming across to take away the play. This looks good. Jamaican Coconut up high, passing out for Brand. Can't get the shot off in time as Hockey comes screaming across the Northwood net to make the save.
And sometimes it's disappointing at how good Northwood is defensively. They take away some really cool goals from the opposing side, but love the idea from Jamaican Coconut. Now Kareem around just about everyone. Lion Blaze has to make a play. Brand will follow and score. Penn State will take a 1-0 series, 1-0 game 4 lead.
Lion Blaze just a rare mistouch coming out of Lion Blaze there. We've talked about how Northwood has been so disciplined with the ball and is so effective in tight spaces. Just couldn't get control of that one in front of the net. Brand following up on the rotation that Kareem started with a great little mind game at midfield. The courage to play that kind of mind game in transition on a team like Northwood to make that opening happen doesn't get enough credit on that one.
He does get credit with an assist on the board at the very least. So
well, that's good.
does get that assist in the column. Now Brand looking to get an assist of his own. It'll fall down to Kareem. What is he going to do here? He forced Hockey and Buddy both up for it. Just couldn't quite make the touch. Now Jamaican Coconut over to Brand. Plays that high. Lion Blaze will kick it out towards the top of the box. Also at the center line, Kareem was up grabbing boost. He had to hustle back to beat Hockey to that one. That was scary for Penn State, but they will clear. This is going to be Lion Blaze out of the corner. Kareem now up and over. Brand does get the touch, but nobody home far side. It'll be Hockey with an easy breakout. He will go one-on-one with Jamaican Coconut in the corner. Kareem now over to Brand. Quickly through the zone. Halftime, game number 4, 1-0 lead for Penn State.
It was a really good looking bounce too that kind of went up in front of the Northwood end, just didn't quite find the shot on the Penn State players. That's okay. I think they're content to play with a little bit of a lead. They just have to, again, be really disciplined. They can't give Northwood the opportunities that they saw in game 3. And I think that's going to be the key number 1 to getting through the second half of this game, maybe finding another opportunity to score. They need to just make it through these midfield opportunities. Brand working with 0 boost, Kareem coming in to help them out, and ultimately pops up for Jamaican Coconut, who's been really patient, I have to say, playing that third rotation in a lot of the times through these transition sequences of play hunted. It's been a huge relief valve for the Penn State defense in a lot of cases.
Well, it has to make a save there as the last player back. Does get it over to Brand. Just loses possession, but Kareem is there quickly at the midfield line, looking for the bump onto Buddy. Not quite going to find it. Here's Jamaican Coconut out of the corner. It's touched away by Hockey. Buddy into the zone, and now Northwood again back onto the offensive side of the ball, looking to equalize things in game 4. Good touch from Brand. Does he have the speed to get there? He does. That'll be over the head of Lion Blaze. And now Penn State might be able to get even a little bit of offense here. At the very least, they can get back rotationally, though that's not a great play. Hockey's going to have a lot of room. Brand's got to make the play here, and he does get enough of it, but will it stay out? Lion Blaze drops it down, and it's 1-1.
Again, miscommunication between Jamaican Coconut and one of the players rotating out. Just a little bit too much done by someone who really should have been calling themselves off that ball. The Jamaican Coconut we've talked about has been very good at rotating in as that third player, keeping those cycles alive for the Penn State offense. And as it breaks down, Northwood just needs a small opportunity to make them pay. Although Jamaican Coconut right back off the kickoff, beating out the Northwood defense. That's a great goal.
So back to where we started, and look at the avoidance. I didn't even notice that on the original play. Jamaican Coconut goes wide enough to avoid Buddy's bump. Very well done. That makes it a 2-1 game now for his squad. Can Brand make it 3-1? He's got some room. Will opt to go straight at the net. Lion Blaze almost gets dunked, but it does get cleared out. Hockey, he's dangerous from here. Drops it in, 2-2.
Oh, you can see it developing from the clear by Buddy. An absolute drill of a ball towards the backboard. Hockey reads it all day. Kareem throwing themselves out to try and take the angle away. And Jamaican Coconut cannot shut the door on that ball as Hockey, with another brilliantly placed shot, will pull Northwood level again.
And who else but Hockey to clutch up for his team again in this one. Game number 4 now. Make it a 2-2 game. Brand will take that play from Buddy. Hockey just trying to get the ball down for his teammates to play. Buddy pops it up. Brand with an opportunity now. Doesn't quite get the first touch he was looking for. It'll bounce over. Lion Blaze down to Hockey. He's going to have a little bit of space. Looking for some help. He ends up getting around Jamaican Coconut, but only as far as Brand. And we have 10 seconds left. Overtime on the horizon. Here's an opportunity, but Hockey just going to get there in time. He'll clear it up high. Maybe one last gas. No, they're going to let this one fall. OT finally, game 4.
We've had a couple of close calls so far this series. We finally get what we've been calling for, the golden goal situation. A lot of momentum swinging back and forth through the back half of that game, really. With, I think it was with 3 goals inside the second half of that game. That's a really tight save from Jamaican Coconut. Had to bounce it off the inside corner. Lion Blaze, great little pass for Hockey, and that is under the bar and in. 3-2 Northwood taking game 4, taking the series. That Oh, man. Hockey's
close.
got such good placement.
And that whole play starts because Jamaican Coconut gets demoed, or no, rather, I believe it was Kareem who gets demoed. Jamaican Coconut has to make a really awkward save because the original player who was going to